Peace and love, peace and love. How everybody doing? Today, I want to share a story. And this story is symbolic. It's kind of like a modern day walking initiation. It's the story of the owl and how I got my wings. Story of the owl and how I got my wings. I guess I'll preface this with saying that in my kitchen I have a owl on the top of my counters, at the very top of my counters. And it sits up there looking down over everything that's going on. I put that up there because the owl represents wisdom and is associated with the deeper mysteries, the occult, the arcana. And I've been having it since I probably had it since, probably 15 years I had that thing, and it's been moving with me from apartment to apartment and then eventually to my home that I've been in now for, I guess, 8 years, 7, 8 years. I do a lot of meditation. I do a lot of dreaming. I do a lot of reading deep, occult, esoteric information, and I'm always in this state of seeking the truth and seeking the light, and I often get communicated with by the higher divinities through various modes. Like I said, dreams, daydreams, images, pictures, nature, birds, trees. Things just talk to me. And so I was on my way, I believe, maybe to go on a hike, or actually maybe going to a crystal shop because I was trying to collect some crystals. Either way, I was on my way going somewhere, and I stopped at a light. And while I was at that light, I looked down at the clock, master number 333. And then I said, the divine is talking to me. And the light turned green. And as I was walking, I seen a bird in the street, a dead bird. Now, I had been collecting feathers for my hat every time. I hike a lot. I stay on trails and in the mountains and off trails, trying to get to more isolated and seclusive areas. And, I had been collecting feathers. I got a feather hat. And I've got feathers from all different types of birds on it. This particular day, I seen a bird in the street. Wasn't sure what it was, but Spirit said, pull over and grab that bird. And I'm thinking to myself, I drive past the bird, and I'm like, I'm just tripping. And then Spirit said, see, you want me to trust you with the highest mysteries, with the highest knowledge, but you won't even respond to the communication and instruction that we're giving you. And because I'm like, man, people gonna be thinking I'm crazy just getting out the car and grabbing some dead bird out the street. It's like I'm like, hold on. People looking at me. It's like, you care what people look, you're not ready. I'm like, okay. You know what? That's right. I need to get to a deeper level with this here. And I need to not be worrying about what people think. I gotta get to the level where I'm beyond it. If spirit's talking, I act. So I drive past, but I stop. I turn in one little spot and I come out and I turn around. Excuse me. And I drive back, park off on the side of the road because this was a 2-lane road. I had to park off on the side. Luckily, there was this little drive-in area, so I drove right in. Got out my car, looking both ways. I'm having to wait until traffic, kind of stop because this car's coming. It's right there by a light, and so traffic is always moving. And I finally get a break in traffic. I go out there, I grab it. It's an owl. It's an owl. I never seen a dead owl. Never seen an owl at all in the wild. I never seen an owl in the wild. I look at it, I'm like, oh my God. The whole thing, the head, everything, dead owl. Spirit said, take the wing. So now I'm like, I don't even have the material, like, to even handle this bird or anything. I look at my trunk. I'm like, take the wing. What what's going on? I've been collecting feathers now. All of a sudden, y'all want me to collect wings. So I collect the wings. Well, I actually get in my back trunk. I look, rummage through some stuff, and I see some plastic bags. So I use the plastic bags as gloves. I try to pull the wing away from the body, but it was literally on there. I had on some boots, some nice boots, mind you, because I'm actually I was not on the way hiking. I was on the way to a crystal shop to get some crystals. And I had on some nice boots. And I was like, man, I'm gonna get my boots dirty and bloody. But Pierre like, go do it. So I'm like, man. So I put my foot on the body and I rip, yank, pull, and I yanked the wing off. Finally got it. Got blood on my pants a little bit. Nice pair of pants. I put the wing and wrap it up in the trunk. I go do what I was going to do because I was collecting the foundation stones. If y'all familiar with those, the foundation stones got a lot of them. These are the stones that actually is mentioned in the book of Revelations when the new kingdom is a whole bunch. Y'all probably can't see them, but anyway, 12 stones for the foundation of the new kingdom on earth, the new world that the Christ being creates when it comes back. During the end times in Revelations, there's something called the foundation stones, and these are crystals, special crystals. So I do that. I come back home immediately. Spirit starts put me in the mode. I say I'm researching. It's telling me what to do. Research preserving wings. I'm just like, okay, going with that. I'm researching. I'm watching, and like, oh yeah, you gotta, make sure you get all the meat off. Then you gotta go get borax and salt, and you gotta put it in a container, and you gotta, put it down and put it in there and keep it in there for a long time until all the meat and all the juice, anything that's fleshy, has actually been cured by the salt and dried up, so that no bacteria contamination, anything happen like that. I went through that process. It was my first time. I probably didn't do like everything. You're supposed to pin the feather on the board. I didn't do that, and it really wasn't really necessary. So this happens. I got the wing. I'm excited. I'm like, wow, I got a owl wing. The owl up there. Wow, this is crazy. I was collecting feathers. Now I got a whole wing, an owl at that. So 2 weeks later, I'm in a car talking with my wife. We just riding around, and I'm talking to her about my life and how I'm ready to start this new life, and I'm ready to, create a world for me, and that's so much in spirit, and so in tune with everything I feel and been feeling, and just that rebirth. And we drive down the street and we stop at a gas station for a second, got some gas because we had been really riding around talking for a minute. Got some gas. And as I was pulling out the gas station, I seen a bird sitting on top of a power line. As soon as I looked at it, it dropped down to the ground and grabbed something. I seen it. It was a mouse. And then it just sat there and started eating. And I was like, and I looked close, I'm like, that's an owl. And so I get out my car and I record this. And maybe I'll just upload the recorded video just after this video. I record this, and then I'm sitting there watching the owl eat the mouse, and the owl look back at me, and I'm just getting closer and closer, and it's just looking at me eating, and then it just look at me one last time, and then took off and fly away. And I'm like, wow, what a coincidence. Just got an owl wing. Mind you, I'm 36 years old. I'll be 37 this year. Never seen an owl before in the wild. All right. So I went into an owl wing 2 weeks prior. Got that off spirit, just telling me to pick the wing up and get it. Then I actually, see an owl 2 weeks later. It might have been even a week to a week and a half later. See an owl on a power line drop down and eat a mouse. And so I'm like, spirit is telling me that the owl is working with me. The owl is trying to communicate with me. About a week or two later, I'm going on a camping trip with my children. And we going to this mountain. It's called Wade Mountain. The trail that we have to take is called Devil's Racetrack. We're gonna do an overnight camping out there, and it's not really a campsite. It's just in the woods. So we just want to do some off out of a campsite, off trail type camping into the wild bush. We go out there, we set up everything, have a beautiful time. It gets night. Nighttime is pitch dark outside. And while I'm out there at night, we start hearing noises. And next thing you know, we start hearing this screaming. And my children is with me. Now I'm scared. And to be honest, I become engulfed in fear. Just overtaken by fear. And to be honest, I had took a mushroom. And it was pitch dark. And I just completely consumed with fear. But I'm sitting here telling myself, I can't let the children know that I'm scared. I'm like, so I end up melting in the fear and embracing it and just releasing myself to the fear. And it took over, and then it just really dissipated into an energy that just filled my body up. Just filled my body up with energy. And the noise is just going. Now, I did the history on this mountain maybe a year prior. And there's a lot of spiritual stuff that go on this mountain. One of the things was that the reason they call it Devil's Racetrack is because at night you can hear screaming. The screaming of these ghosts or whatever. So I went through that ordeal. We made it through. I start talking to my children about fear and how they need to control their fear, because that's what I was doing after I had been immersed in it. So I talked to them, hey, they scared. I'm like, we don't know if it's a woman screaming in the woods. It sounds like a woman screaming. And of course, I got, my gun out there with me. I'm strapped. I got protection, you know, and I'm telling the children, we okay. We don't know what that is. We can't go out there looking. It could be somebody screaming for help. It literally sounds like a woman screaming for help. We make it through the day. We get we the night. We get up. We have a good day. Waking up, making us tea and stuff out there in the woods, eating and walking around, doing a little hiking. In the surrounding areas, and kind of move on from it. Fast forward probably like, another month later, you know, the we watch survival and bushcraft type videos, just people surviving in nature, making different things, for how to start fires with bow drills and, flint rods, and how to build shelters and identifying plants and how to survive. So we watching all these videos, right? And so, in this video, we're watching this guy, and he's a person that's in nature. He making all his money by being in nature every day. And I mean, this is how he makes his money. So he's always in nature. We watching, and then he's sleeping in his tent, and it's at night. He said, hey guys, I'm going to sleep. I'll catch y'all in the morning. Boom, camera comes back on. Night vision, grayscale. You're like, I'm hearing this noise. And it's screaming. He like, I don't know what that is. So he put his camera on nighttime, and he goes out and he's looking. And lo and behold, he looks up in the tree. There's owls there. The owls are screaming. And he's thrown back. He's like, man, I never saw owls in the wild, and I've been out in nature my entire life, and I never seen an owl in the wild. Let alone I didn't know they scream. He said he looked it up, and yes, they scream. Because he was looking for the hoo hoo hoo, the noise that we used to hearing from owls. The hoo hoo, the hoot. But no, owls scream. You can go look this up. And so he's got the vision on night. There's like 4 owls, and there's 2 teenage owls, and then there's like a mother owl. And the mother comes through, and the teenager just screaming. The screaming is, Mom, come feed me. And while he's recording, literally a big owl came through, dropped off a mouth in the baby's mouth, and went away. And then the owl's just out there back screaming again. It's a loud pitch scream, sound like a woman is screaming. That's exactly what it sounds like. And he just going on like, wow, this is so amazing. I never seen this. I can't sleep really with all them making this noise, but this is amazing. I never seen an owl in the wild, and I didn't know they make this sound. And so it dawned on me that night in the woods was actually an owl screaming while I was going through my initiation of overcoming fear. You see what I'm saying? You see where this is going? So we learned, we like, oh my God, that's what that was, children. It was an owl. Okay, it wasn't a lady get, hurt or anything like that. Thank God, because, we was traumatized. And I was just thinking about that night when we was out there. I'm like, man, just imagine the things that's going on that we don't have no idea about. I mean, just imagine the people that's probably in someone's basement right now. It's a dark thing, but just imagine the people that's been kidnapped, and they're out there and screaming, and no one's there to help them. And just imagine, it does something to you, bring chills to you, make you think about life and how fortunate you are and how lost you could be. And so, fast forward, it get to a point where I'm like, okay, that I see what's going on. I'm getting my wings. I'm getting my wings. So I need to have some type of ceremony to, commemorate me getting my wings. I'm waiting for spirit. So I start collecting all of these things. I carve a stone. And actually, I'll show you some of the things. Because I know I will show it. Here, I carved this stone with a mantra that I have. Look like a pyramid of Egypt. I found this on Wade Mountain. It looks like a tablet, Moses tablet. When I got it, there was a skull on here, an image of a skull on here. I pressure washed it away, and there's even some esoteric stuff about skulls. I pressed it. I am great. I am happy. I'm healthy. I'm righteous. I'm rich. I'm wise, and I have total financial freedom and abundance. That's my personal mantra that I was given by the divinity. All right. I start collecting things, in my pyramid, and here's the wing. Let's go ahead and bring that. Go ahead and bring that with us. So let's get back to the story. But I start collecting things for my ritual. Okay. So I collect all these things, and I'm just waiting for spirit to tell me when. I'm waiting, and I'm trying to plan this day where all of our families, we're going to go, my whole family, me, my wife, my children, we all going to go into the mountain, and we're going to have a big ceremony to celebrate me getting my wings. So I decided to do it one day, but it fell apart. My daughter had hurt her ankle or something that is skin, and my wife had to work or something like that, and they just couldn't come, so it ended up just being me and my son. And we was like, oh, we'll do the ritual another time, or we'll do the ceremony another time. But we won't. We went back to that mountain. We hiked. We went off a trail. We went down. There was a stream off the trail. We hiked and we went as high and tried to follow the stream as high as we went until we couldn't see it no more. It just disappeared underground. We off the trail, we sit down, and everything turns rock as we keep running. It's just all rock. We could tell that water was flowing here, and we sit down, me and my son, and we have the most emotional, loving, connecting experience as a father and son. And I was telling and teaching my son so many things that I can't even begin to recap here. But it was along the lines of, this is real love. Me and you in nature, by ourselves, having a great experience. This is heaven. This is what a father and son relationship should be. And I come back down. We going through the mountain. I found a plant. I actually have the plant here. It's dead now, but it's called the trout lily. It's dead. It's folding up, but I got it on another area here that's for the goddess, the mother goddess. And I put it right there. Now, this flower only grows up very, 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 very high in the mountain. I tried to bring the plant back, but couldn't. I end up eating it. Soon as I ate the flower, the sun beamed right in my face. I ate the flower, and then we came back. While we was back, birds were everywhere. The wind was blowing, and everything was talking to me, basically just clapping. Birds were singing. Everything was flying. The wind was blowing hard. The trees were bowing down, and the sun was coming out in between the trees, shining right on me. And everything was basically like, congratulations, clapping for me, saying, congratulations, you are the model human. You've been through so much. You grew up without your mother, your father, everything. You lost your brother, he's been killed, and you've been through so much, but you still have a loving heart. You still decide to pursue the knowledge. You still is seeking the light. You are the model human. Congratulations. You get your wings. And I could just feel that energy around me. So I end up going back home, and I was talking to my son about being a leader, and I let him lead the hike back home because I was telling him, sometimes the leader just want to put down the leadership role and just follow for a chance. That's the truth about some people that have to lead. It's like, man, I just want to follow. And then I said, well, this is a good time for me to follow my son, and this is a good time for him to learn how to be a leader, because eventually one day he'll be a leader. And I was teaching him how my life is I don't live the path. My life, if my life was a trail, it would be a trail that's off the path. That's why we went off the path to find that flower. Because if you never go off that trail, you will be safe, but you might never get to experience the yellow trout lily, which is a rare flower, and it symbolizes new beginnings. It only grows up there in a mountain. We could only find that plant if we went off the trail, followed the stream, and went up in elevation. It only grew there. It wasn't growing down. And I told my son, my life is like a trail that's off the path. We got lost while we was up there too. This is a part of the training, the initiation, the spiritual ritual. We got lost while we was up there. It was hard to find our way back. We found it. We listened to the water. We started listening for water, and we found our way back. But while we was up there, we was like, my son was like, hey, we should go there because I remember that tree that like that. And then I said, oh, you remember that tree? You mean that tree right over there? And there was another tree that looked just like it, symbolizing that it's easy to get lost in this world. If you go off the path, you can get lost, and everything looks the same. It's so easy to get lost in life. Just like it is that when you leave the path, they got a trail. They want you to stay on it for a reason, because you can easily get lost out there. Because all you got to do is walk off the trail, turn around, and you're lost track. You got to focus in on your intuition. We had to use our intuition, our spirit, to find our way back to that water, and then find our way back to where we were. But I told my son, if my life was a trail, it would be a path, a path that I paved for myself. I don't follow all of the traditions. My children were born at home. I birthed them myself. They never been to public school. They've been homeschooled. They never been to a hospital. I'm the herbalist. They anything they need is coming from me. I don't follow the regular religious methods of being in life. I don't work a 9 to 5 like everyone. Everything I've done, this is not what my people done before me. It's a path that I paved on my own that's very different from the examples that have been left for me. That's why I'm a leader as well, because now I'm teaching my children how to uh how to follow a path that now we can set up a new trail. So once again, I let my son lead on the way back. Now this is his chance. This leadership training. One day he has to be a leader. How do leaders get born? They get chances where they get leadership training. Normally you're getting that from your parents, pillars in your community, things like that. I'm my son's leader, so I'm showing him. So we get back home. We have an amazing experience. I mean, just absolutely amazing experience. We're happy. We come home. We're so excited. We tell everybody about our things. We looked up. Oh, yeah. On the way home, we looked up in the sky. There was a cloud in the shape of a wing. I could have took a picture, but my life's so magical. I'll be taking pictures every day, all day. I'll be taking pictures all day. That's how magical. Literally looked up in the sky, and there was a wing in the sky. I go home. I tell my wife, I was like, hey, this was the day I got my wings today, y'all. Do y'all want to go outside? Y'all want to start a fire? Y'all want to celebrate. So they like, yeah, we want to celebrate. So I said, okay, me and my wife, we go to the store. We gonna get some so all the stuff. What y'all want? They like, I want shish kebab. Okay, we gonna get veggies and some vegan sausage. We gonna put it on there. Then he like, I want some broccoli. Okay, cool. We gonna put that on there. But I want pizza. All right, we gonna get that pizza. You know what I'm saying? Everything we wanted. We gonna have a festival. So I had these. I had like been doing so much. I had like a big old incense that I made from wood that I had collected from out in nature, and I started wrapping it and putting like tons of incense on it, Palo Santo, sage incense, everything, and it was just one big old thing that I was going waiting for it to light, and we did all that night. But on the way to the store, birds following us. The entire way to the store, there were sirens and flashing lights and strobe lights. As soon as we start walking, police, ambulance, fire trucks, taxis, tow trucks, everything, flashing lights. I'm telling my wife, it's they talk to me. Look on the time, 5:55. Everything. It's just like I'm saying, I'm like, Danielle, have we ever experienced it? I'm like, baby, look at this. Look. Everywhere I'm telling her, look, the nature is calling me, it's talking to me. Everywhere I look, flashing lights, going that way, flashing lights, going that way. The little taxi van in front of us, flashing lights. The tow truck over there, flashing lights. Keep going down the street, more flashing lights. Everything on both sides, flashing lights. Crazy. Get out of Whole Foods. As soon as we get out the car in Whole Foods, boom, a white falcon bird or something just come out. We never seen that at Whole Foods. That's our primary store, Whole Foods. And we've never seen that bird there. As soon as we get out the car, boom, bird just flying. You got your wings today. On the way back home, not one single flashing light, siren, anything. The universe communicating. I got my wings. And I just wanted to share that as I continue to build. I try to make these videos, but I'm so entrenched in learning and meditating on the secrets of this universe and piercing the veil. I was born this way. And I got off the path, but as I got older, I got onto it, and I can share even more stories from my childhood later that all shows that it's leading to it led to where I'm at today. And so I just wanted to share with y'all the story. This is my owl wing. The story, and bless y'all with this wind because it's so much wind that it hawks up this feather. This is how it's so much wind. Let's make these trees move behind us. Right? Look at that. It's so much wind that these feathers can whirlwind. You see? I got my wings. This is symbolic of the new level that I'm at spiritually. A lot of times I'm not making the videos because I'm truly spending a lot of time in my children's life, and by the time the day is over, it's like, man, I want to make that video. Didn't get to do it. I eventually get around to it, so my videos might only come out once a month or something like that, but I try to get to it. But I'm truly busy doing the real magic. I always tell people it's hard to play basketball and coach basketball at the same time. It's hard to be in the NBA and coach the NBA. No one does that. No one is playing basketball and coaching it. No one is playing in the NBA and coaching in the NBA at the same time, because you could coach when you playing the game, you playing the game. I'm playing the game, baby. It's hard to be teaching is what I'm saying, and showing the people what I'm learning. But I trust that in the divine way that eventually all of this is going to lead to me becoming that master teacher and being able to articulate and share the things that I learn as I get older. I look forward to my 40s and 50s as being some of the greatest times in my life, and the peak. I'm going towards the peak. There's no decline here. There's a beauty in going on. There's a understanding as you travel around this sun, more and more rotations, more revolutions. So I just wanted to share that with y'all today. I hope that I was able to inspire someone. Um, whatever was meant to do, I hope it done it. I just wanted to share that. This is the story of the walking out initiation in modern day. You got to be able to tap in, because the divine, as you know, the divine, it doesn't always communicate in words. It's symbols, symbology is the language of the divine. Okay, that's what it is. And so, if once you tune in and you learn how to, you know, focus in on these particular uh things, you learn how to focus in on the divine language, then you will get to transcend. Then you'll get to the next level. So I just wanted to share that with y'all today. Peace and love, and I'll see y'all on the next one.